It's the Ross Tucker Football Podcast.
Oh, yeah, it is. But it's not just any Ross Tucker Football Podcast. It is a Finish Strong Friday presented by DraftKings, America's #1 rated sportsbook app. And Finish Strong is exactly what we're doing. I woke up 12 minutes ago after about 4.5 hours sleep here in a Salt Lake City Courtyard Marriott, about to head to the airport. As soon as I'm done with this, fly back to my family for the freaking weekend. Looking forward to it. Hopefully some of you got a chance to check out that Air Force game against Utah State last night. What an unbelievably beautiful state and setting and everything at Utah State. Unfortunately, the Aggies did not play great after their first touchdown. Air Force sort of took care of business there. What does Finish Strong Friday mean? It means you mentally lock in whatever you're doing today, especially those of you that are working, so that you feel good about how you finish the week, and so you don't have stuff hanging over your head over the weekend. You feel good about it, and you can enjoy some downtime, some family time, some whatever time you want to do it. You can enjoy it because you know you took care of business and you finished strong. That is how we do it here on the Ross Tucker Football Podcast. That's what Brian and I are going to do. We got a Spread the Word winner. How about Will Ambarian? I believe I'm saying that right. Ambarian, Ambarian. He liked the Steve Fezzik post on Instagram at RossTuckerPod when Steve Fezzik talked about the fact that the sports books don't actually necessarily know more than the bettors, at least not initially. That's the type of thing you can check out on either our YouTube page or if you follow at RossTuckerPod on Twitter or Instagram. So Will, email me, please, ross@rosstucker.com. Let me know if you'd like a signed press pass. I got a bunch now, and I'll tell you guys next week what all the ones I have, because there's been some special requests recently. I also have a bunch of pictures, football cards, all kinds of stuff for you guys if you want to get them. But all he had to do was like an Instagram post by at RossTuckerPod. It was that easy. And now he's getting something signed and personalized. Congrats, Will. Congrats to the sponsor confirmation email winner, Joseph Miller. He signed up for a digital subscription to Luckbox, like I talked about earlier in the week. Very cool, Joseph. And he was very specific. He wants the press pass from the University of Buffalo game last Saturday, the Jarrett Patterson record-setting, record-tying, whatever you want to say, performance against Kent State. So, Joseph Miller, you will get that, buddy. Ask and you shall receive. Thank you for taking advantage of that subscription at Luckbox. YouTube shout-out, Larry Langston. Larry Langston commented on the college draft, said he loved the show. He even had some info about an Arkansas player that Emory was trying to talk about on the College Draft Podcast, which is awesome. So, Larry, kudos. Email me, Larry, ross@rosstucker.com, and let me know who you want the shout-out for. Just did one yesterday for Joel Buckwalter's wife. Joel won last week, and he wanted one for his wife, who is a nurse, a frontline worker. Boy, there's nothing more I like than doing that. A shout-out for those type of people that I can't possibly thank enough. Can't possibly do it. Today's patron shout-out, JP Rapzinski. By the way, we're slowing down on the patrons last couple of days, so we're running out of shout-outs. You guys are missing out on being able to get all the even money bets, the Friday picks, the press box grades, food grades, the power rankings, all in written form on our private Tuckheads Slack channel. So kudos to you, JP Rapzinski. Love getting new patrons. Patreon.com/RT Media. Let's roll, Brian.
Want to know which team is going to win every single game on Sunday? Then listen up.
Good morning, Ross. Let's start with the Cleveland Browns and the Tennessee Titans.
Boy, I'm really looking forward to this one. In fact, this might be the game I'm looking forward to the most in the 1 o'clock Eastern window. Talked about it quite a bit on the Even Money podcast. Obviously, Joe talked about it on the College Draft podcast. Thought it was interesting yesterday when Greg Cosell said that these teams are sort of mirror images of each other. I think the reality is right now, I feel more confident in Ryan Tannehill late in a game than I do Baker Mayfield. I just feel like right now Ryan Tannehill's playing better than is Baker Mayfield. They, of course, are getting back Myles Garrett for Cleveland, which I don't think people are taking into account enough. Both teams want to run the football. I think it's a closer game than the betting line out there. But I do think I'll take Tennessee in a close one. I'll go 26-23. Good game. 26-23 Titans.
Next game, it's the Las Vegas Raiders at the New York Jets.
Right. So you'd like to think that the Raiders are going to bounce back in a major way. Disappointing performance last week in Atlanta. We all know that. You know, sometimes you just have a stinker or a clunker like that. You got to get it out of your system, move on. Hopefully that's what the Raiders did. Hopefully they don't let the Jets stick around. The Jets, unbelievably bad, unbelievably disappointing when you think about Darnold and the Jets only scoring 3 points against the Dolphins. Maybe they can make this a little bit more competitive, but there really isn't any evidence that they can do that with Darnold at quarterback this year. I'm going to take the Raiders, and I'm going to take the Raiders 27-10. Raiders blow them out.
Jacksonville Jaguars at the Minnesota Vikings.
The Minnesota Vikings. Vikings do have Adam Thielen back. I think the point that the Jaguars are playing Mike Glennon at quarterback is really interesting because what do they gain by that? Like what is the positive for the organization from that? I think they already know what he is. Now, they might think he gives them the best chance to win, in which case Doug Marrone, who's not going to be the head coach next year, I think we'd all be surprised if that happens. He really could just be screwing the next head coach by not letting them be able to draft Justin Fields with the second pick or not letting them have the second pick or maybe even a chance at the first pick. So maybe Marrone has the veteran Glennon in there because he thinks he's got the best chance to win games and prevent the next coach from getting an awesome quarterback. I don't know. It's an interesting situation because I don't see a lot of value in playing Glennon, but I do think he gives them a chance to stay in it. As I said on Even Money podcast, I do think this is closer than other people do because I think the Jags have a young team and those guys have been fighting. But I'll take the Vikings to win this one 27-20. The Minnesota Vikings.
The Cincinnati Bengals at the Miami Dolphins.
Right. That was awesome.
Thank you.
I didn't even have to ask for it. You're coming out of your shell. I didn't even have to ask for it. And by the way, that time's up just like Minnesota Vikings. The Cincinnati Bengals. That was sweet. So we don't know. Miami is not telling us who the quarterback is, whether it's Tua Tagovailoa or I just like saying that because I love that I can pronounce his name well. Tua Tagovailoa or Ryan Fitzpatrick. I would guess that means it's probably Tua if they're not sticking with who they had last week, but I guess we'll find out. Either way, Miami wins. Brandon Allen was not very good for the Bengals. Maybe he'll be better in his second start. I do think the Dolphins win by more if Fitzpatrick plays. So if you listen to the Even Money podcast, then it's pretty clear that I would like Tua Tagovailoa to play. I'll say I'm going to guess that Tua does play. And I am going to guess that the Dolphins win this game 20-13. 20-13 Miami Dolphins, which means if you'd like, you can go over to DraftKings Sportsbook, where this weekend, by the way, Gonzaga and Baylor going toe-to-toe in what could be the best college basketball game of the year so far with the number one ranking on the line. And America's top-rated sportsbook app is bringing you closer to the action with these can't-miss offers. DraftKings Sportsbook is giving all college basketball fans who sign up now the chance to win $100 when betting on either Gonzaga or Baylor to win this clash of the Titans. Download the top-rated DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code ROSS when you sign up for your shot to turn $1 into $100 when betting on either Gonzaga or Baylor to win. That's right, bet $1 to win $100. Use promo code ROSS during sign-up to take advantage of these great offers. Limited time, only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Must be 21 or older, New Jersey or PA only. Bonus comprised of a first deposit bonus. Deposit bonus requires 25 times playthrough. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Next game, the Indianapolis Colts at the Houston Texans.
Sneaky game for the Colts because of how well the Texans are playing. It's weird to me that Kenny Stills hasn't signed with a team yet, or at least hasn't re-signed with Houston, because I think he's healthy and they need him. They could use him badly now that Will Fuller's gone, and that's the difference, right? I still give Houston a punching chance with Deshaun Watson, but no Will Fuller, no Bradley Roby. That's a problem. Meanwhile, the Colts are getting back Jonathan Taylor. They're getting back Danico Autry. So I like the Colts to take care of business. Taking care of business every day. Taking care of business every way. Who sings that? And working overtime. Men at Work?
No. Bachman Turner Overdrive.
Got it. You're like you're a music guy, right? Like you would know all that stuff.
I know a lot of that stuff, yeah. But Men at
You
Work.
know my mom's maiden name is Bachman.
Anyway,
Sorry. You know
moving
my
on, Detroit at Chicago.
I didn't even give the score of the game, Brian. Score of the game is Indianapolis 27, Houston 20. Detroit, Chicago, I think, is kind of a toss-up. The issue is the still uncertain status of Kenny Galladay and DeAndre Swift. Because I'm not sure those guys are going to play, I'll go with the Chicago Bears. Both these teams could get a boost. The Bears could get the "we got ripped by our coach" boost. The Lions could get the fired coach boost. I'll take the Bears by a smidge, just a smidge, 24-23.
New Orleans Saints at the Atlanta Falcons.
There's a lot of people that like the Falcons in this game. I can't do it, man. I can't unsee what I saw when they played a couple weeks ago, and the Saints D-line totally annihilated the Falcons offensive line. I can't unsee that. So even though Taysom Hill is an interesting quarterback to watch, that's how I'll describe that, I just don't see them being able to go ahead and beat the Falcons being able to beat the Saints, even with Taysom Hill. I think they also will get it done, even if it's not pretty. 23-17 Saints.
The New York Giants at the Seattle Seahawks.
So I think Seattle, by the way, I forgot to tell you guys some of the locks. You could have locked up Minnesota. You can lock up the Raiders. You can lock up the Dolphins. I mean, there's a lot of potential locks this week. I think you can lock up the Seahawks. They're not losing to Colt McCoy and the New York Giants. It's not happening. I think the Giants might be able to keep it close now that they're designing the offense around Colt McCoy, and he'll get all the first-team reps this week. But that's about it. I'll go Seattle 24, the Giants 16. 24-16, Seattle. Lock them up, Brian.
Your survivor/knockout/whatever you call it, pick of the week.
All right, next up, the Los Angeles Rams at the Arizona Cardinals.
Should be an awesome game. Gigantic playoff implications in this one. I got to go with the Rams right now, man. They've been more consistent. Cardinals have not played great the last couple times out. Rams have been consistent pretty much with the exception of when they play the Niners. The Rams are good except for when they play the Niners. I think it's a close, competitive game. I'll take the Rams, although this is truly a toss-up. Like I said, one of the best games of the weekend. I'll go Rams 27, Cardinals 24.
The New England Patriots at the Los Angeles Chargers.
So I cannot do it. I cannot pick an Anthony Lynn coach team to beat a Bill Belichick coach team. Just can't do it. Anthony Lynn has had too many mistakes this year, especially recently. And I know Herbert's awesome, but Belichick's track record against rookie quarterbacks is very good. And I think they'll be able to take care of business. Boy, that must be my line today. I think the Patriots win the game. Close game. And look, are you really going to take the Chargers over the Patriots in a close game at this point in the year of our Lord 2020? I don't think you can do that. I'll say Patriots 23, Chargers 20.
Philadelphia Eagles at the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, this is the primary late game, which has the potential to get ugly, just the way the Eagles have played lately and the way the Packers have played lately. This could be one you could even think about as a survivor pick. We'll see. Maybe the Eagles play Jalen Hurts more. Maybe something, somewhere, somehow snaps Carson Wentz out of the funk that he's in. But I can't predict that to happen until I actually see that happen. I'll take the Pack. I'm going to go 27-17. I think Eagles defense is pretty decent. 27-17.
Sunday Night Football, the Denver Broncos at the Kansas City Chiefs.
So I'd like to think the Broncos will be able to keep this close, and I said that on the Even Money podcast. But the fact that it's a night game gives me a little bit of trepidation now that I think about it more, because it does feel like Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs always come to play in night games and have some of their best showings. And I'm just not sure Drew Lock and the Broncos will be able to rise to the occasion. So not feeling as good about that one on the Even Money podcast right now. So I'll go Chiefs. I'll say Chiefs 31, Broncos 17, something like that.
Monday afternoon football, the Washington football team at the Pittsburgh Steelers.
This will be an interesting game. Steelers and Washington football team. Washington football team coming off of an extended rest. And the Steelers very much not, obviously. The Steelers just having played Wednesday, short turnaround for them. Now they lose Bud Dupree. That's official. It's Alex Highsmith season. This is a sneaky chance for a loss for the Steelers right here. I'm just telling you, Monday afternoon game, the Steelers are going to have to wake up. Otherwise, Washington's going to come in here and knock them off their undefeated pedestal, which is huge. Forget going for undefeated. They have to get the number one seed. It's a gigantic difference. I think the Steelers get it done in a close game. I got Ben getting it done on a 2-minute drive late in the game. 24-23 Steelers.
Monday Night Football, the Buffalo Bills and San Francisco 49ers.
Well, this is going to be a fight, Bri. This is going to be absolutely a fight. And by the way, speaking of fights, I know Andrew and I talked about this a couple weeks ago. I am always looking for different exercises, different workouts that can get my heart rate going, that can change things up, give me some variety, give me some new enjoyment, work some different muscles. That's what Fight Camp is all about. Fight Camp provides boxing and kickboxing workouts and tutorials that keep you engaged, learning, excited, and motivated. So look, I know a lot of you can't go to the gym these days because of COVID. This is what you should do right here. Fight Camp offers flexible financing for as low as 0% APR and $0 down. And right now, as a limited time holiday offer, get free shipping and a gift valued up to $109 with every Fight Camp package. Just go to joinfightcamp.com/Tucker. That's right. Get free shipping and a gift valued up to $109 with your purchase. Bring an authentic boxing and kickboxing gym into your home with Fight Camp. To get your free gift, just go to joinfightcamp.com/Tucker, joinfightcamp.com/Tucker. So I think this will be a fight between the Niners and the Bills. Looking forward to it. I'm gonna show some faith in my Bills. I'm gonna show some faith that they can not drop a game like this on the road. I think they're gonna rise to the occasion in a primetime spot with everybody watching. They are the underdogs. How about that? Not a lot of respect, right, for the Bills at this point. They're only getting 1 point, but they still are the underdogs. And I think the Niners played better against the Rams, but I'm not taking Nick Mullins in Arizona over Josh Allen. I think the Bills get it done on the road, and I think it's probably something like 24-20. Their defense has played better, and even though it's only 1 point, Bri, we can let the doggies out.
Ross's Underdog of the Week.
And the final game of the week on Tuesday evening, the Dallas Cowboys at the Baltimore Ravens.
I will be calling that one. That'll be my first Tuesday night game. Looking forward to that one. You know, we don't know if Lamar Jackson will play or not as we record this on Friday. The Ravens are not saying, and maybe they don't know. You know, maybe it depends on his symptoms, everything going on. So maybe they don't know. Well, I think there's a real chance they lose the game if he doesn't play, because the Cowboys were embarrassed on Thanksgiving. And they've had a lot of time to prepare, whereas the Ravens still have a bunch of guys on the COVID list. They're still trying to find their way a little bit. But if Lamar Jackson's back, I don't give the Cowboys really any chance in this one. I'm going to guess that he's back and a bunch of Ravens are back, given that it's still, 4 more days away. And I'll say the Ravens win this one. I don't see the Cowboys scoring a whole lot of points in this one. I don't. I think this game ends up being 24-16 Ravens, 24-16 Baltimore.
Tuck's Takes.
All right, a couple of news items before we wrap things up here. 0 positives among the Steelers and Ravens PCR tests on Wednesday. The Colts activated defensive tackle Danico Autry from the COVID list, and the NFL reinstates Seahawks wide receiver Josh Gordon.
So, yeah, I mentioned the Danico Autry. That's a great sign. You know, obviously they knew that all of the point of care tests were negative, but then to have all the PCR tests, which is the more reliable test, be negative, that's great. That means that nobody on the field or traveling or in the locker room is positive for COVID. So great job there, and good job by the NFL. You know, I guess through contact tracing and cameras and everything, they kind of knew when it would be over, and they were right. So good job by them. And Josh Gordon, evidently, he can't play till the last 2 games. So he's back practicing, whatever, but he cannot play, until the last 2 games. So just something to note there. Shout outs go to Pizza Boy Brewing. Dynasty Freaks still, Bri, or no?
Yes.
Pizza Boy Brewing, DynastyFreaks.com, Sporticulture, SteakhouseSports.com, Vision Comics with an X. They are all, I think we're done here, members of Patreon.com/RT Media, which means we shout out their business every single day on the show, which is pretty awesome. Other than that, plenty of social media clips will be posted at Ross Tucker NFL, at RossTuckerPod on Twitter and Instagram over the weekend. We actually should have the Monday morning Ross Tucker Football podcast should be posted shortly after midnight for those of you that are international. So you'll have it super early because of our travel schedules this weekend. And other than that, have an excellent, excellent weekend. I'm actually home all weekend, which is Nice, which is rare because I had a Thursday game. I'll take it. I think we're done here.
Thanks for listening to the Ross Tucker Football Podcast. Make sure to also subscribe to the Fantasy Feast, Even Money, Business of Sports, and College Draft. All available at Apple Podcasts, RossTucker.com, or wherever podcasts can be found.